Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Total War Warhammer replay. It's DAKKADAKKA time, because we are not bringing just one, not just two over here, but we are bringing three Rattling Gunners. We do of course have the Teeth Breakers Rattling Gun. These guys are pretty nice. They do have some nice little traits. These guys actually do have a concealment bomb, so they can actually be stalk and unspottable, so basically you can get right up close with your enemy. But basically, this is the plan. We have got Skaven slaves in the front line, 3. Behind them we have Rattling Gun weapon teams, so 3 of them. We are going up against Chaos here. Behind them we do have the Council Guard, very important. Of course, they do provide that guarding ability, which is always very nice, but they are unbreakable, a really good unit to have. We do have a Plague Priest with, I think I've given in quite a few sets. We've got Vermintide. We've got Vermintide. We do actually have Wither, and we do have Plague as well. I do always love bringing Plague, and that does actually pay off in this fight. Got some Climber with Spears on the other side, just in case there's any cavalry nearby. And as for my Legendary Lord, we do have Tretch. You know, I absolutely love Tretch. I keep saying it, but Tretch is my favourite Legendary Lord when it comes to Skaven and multiplayer. He is just so damn good. You know, Lucky Skull Helm gives him, you know, plus 33 damage resistance and speed when he's losing in combat. It's just absolutely insane. Stand or die, okay, but, you know, stay here and I'll get help. It's just so damn fucking good. I mean, you know, giving leadership to nearby, you know, Skaven units and being able to retreat is just really, really good. And then lastly, we got 2 Hell Pits. So, yeah, I mean, we pretty much have no fighting frontline here. The Hell Pits and the Council Guard are pretty much what my frontline is. So, as my opponent, we are going up against Chaos. And this was a really fun match. So, basically, we've got Aspiring Champions. We've got 2 in the frontline. These guys do provide immune to psychology and encouragement. So, you know, they aren't going to rout off anytime soon. And they are shielded. So, they're quite tanky guys. My opponent's frontline, he does have the Mirror Guard, you know, immune to psychology. Those lovely mirror shielded guys. Got some Chaos Warriors in the front line. We do have Archeon, the Ever Chosen here. I do believe he has I think he has Fireball, does he? Oh, no, we've got Piercing Bolts of Burning. We do have Cascading Fire Cloak. Well, that's good for... and yeah, there's Fireball. I thought he had Burning Head, but maybe not. But Archeon, I mean, Crown of Domination. He's got the Slayer of Kings, so basically he's going to do a lot of damage. Behind them, he has got a very interesting pick here. He does have the Weird Spawn. Now, you don't usually see Chaos Spawn. It's mainly because they get, you know, they get shot down so easily by, you know, very simple skirmish units. But they are unbreakable. They do cause fear, I believe. Oh, no, yeah, do cause fear. But, yeah, anti-infantry, they actually will do all right in this matchup because, you know, obviously it's not really good for artillery, this sort of map. We do have some Chaos with Halberds, Chaos Warriors with Halberds. Some Marauder Horsemen for a bit of skirmishing, and some Dragon Ogres, of course, to deal with any, you know, large units like Hell Pits or Rat Ogres. But let's get right into this fight. So, I mean, obviously going front on brunt with Chaos is not an easy challenge by any means, and basically I'm relying on these Rattling Gunners here to pretty much carry this entire game, and it's very funny. So, the first Aspiring Champions come in. We are lining up the first Rattling Gun weapons team to obviously shoot in. Of course, these guys are shielded, but they are starting to pour the gunfire in, and we are doing some beautiful damage. Beautiful early damage, almost, you know, quarter of their health down. Of course, we've got the Plague Priest here to do some Vermintide summons. We have sent the Hell Pit in to sort of tie them up, but these Rattling Gun weapon teams are starting to shoot in. I do believe they get staggered there by the Clan Rats with Spears. But basically, the plan is keep them back at all costs here. This one on the right, on this left flank here, shooting in to this Chaos Warriors with Halberds. We are going just absolute dakka here across this entire field. It is absolutely beautiful. But the Hell Pits, I mean, the good thing about Hell Pits in this matchup is they will regen, so I don't need to worry about sending them in too far. At the moment, the Rattling Gunners are pretty much shooting in to that Hell Pit Abomination. My opponent here does come around with those Chaos Marauders, Marauder Horseman, and actually does get onto the Rattling Gun. But the Rattling Gun weapon teams, they have a lot of armor, so you don't need to worry about them too much. These ones are shooting in here, but the Chaos Spawn do get in there, the Weird Spawn do get in there. And they are going to do them up. I mean, 70 armor though. These guys obviously can't do well in melee, but they actually can do a little bit of, you know, well, they can obviously survive. So pretty much both my right flanks have been taken out. Things are looking pretty grim already. I mean, my first Hell Pit has taken a lot of damage. I need to pull that out to regen. The Council Guard are in there fighting against Archeon, the Ever Chosen, with a Hell Pit sort of juking around. This Hell Pit is literally just being a cycle charger, running around. For some reason, these, you know, Rattling Guns weren't shooting at point blank range. It was really annoying. I don't know why. Obviously, a bit of a bug there. I was literally shooting them to shoot at Archeon here, but they weren't shooting. I don't know why. These Dragon Ogres over here are getting onto the Plague Priest, and that was really bad. I was really worried about this Plague Priest going down, so I do back out these Rattling Gun weapon teams here, and I do line them up here to get a nice shot on these Dragon Ogres. And as I say, they start shooting in. These guys start to do a lot of damage, starting to absolutely annihilate that health. We've got both Hell Pits coming in fighting against Dragon Ogres, and now we get a beautiful crossfire here. So we got both Rattling Gun weapon teams shooting into these Dragon Ogres, just absolutely annihilating them. I absolutely love this. I mean, like, lovely, you know, lasers shooting everywhere. Both Hell Pits are still alive. The Plague Priest is in there with the Council Guard. The Council Guard are unbreakable, so they are going to hold for a large amount of time. I mean, but my opponent does have some Chaos Warrior Halberds, so I've got to be very careful. The Dragon Ogres do rout off, which is brilliant. Another Vermintide going down here. This left flank, though, was sort of, you know, taken out quite easily. I mean, I pretty much only had one Rattling Gun weapon team over there and some Skaven slaves, so they are trying to get onto the Teeth Breakers here, but the other Rattling Guns are, of course, cover firing them, shooting from this side here, and pretty much I need to try and keep my Rattling Gunners now alive at all costs here. I mean, you know, that Chaos Spawn dies there, but I'm setting the, I'm bringing back the Plague Priest, bringing back both Hell Pits, and we're trying to take out the Mirror Guard and these weird spawn here. So if I can take them out and get my Rattling Guns back online, it won't be too bad. These Marauder Horsemen, they pretty much didn't do any skirmishing, they just charged in here, but I don't blame my opponent for doing that. Tying up these Rattling Gun weapon teams is a pretty smart move. These Clan Rat with Spears aren't going to survive against Chaos Warriors, especially not being well attacked by Marauder Horsemen. But, you know, the balance power is still very, very even. I mean, these Skaven slaves have well, rallied back. That's always very nice. But the Teeth Breakers are back now, so basically my plan now is to fall back, you know, sort of have a second gun line here. Tretch is absolutely fine in this fight. He's just been chilling. He's just been doing whatever he wants. As I say, Tretch can go stalk and, you know, hide whenever he needs to. Both Hell Pits, though, have taken a lot of damage, and pretty much now the Council Guard are fighting amidst all of this. I mean, the Council Guard are going to tank. We have got a Fireball attacking that Hell Pit. Of course, they are weak to fire, so that is going to do some nice damage to that Hell Pit. But regen is regen. So pretty much here, what I'm trying to do is basically form layers of the defense now. So we've basically got one Rattling Gun weapon team. I think the second one has started to rout off, or oh yeah, oh no. But so we do have both Rattling Gun weapon teams still back here. I'm letting my Hell Pits, you know, regen. Plague Priest is still alive, sending some slaves in, but Archaon is getting a bit ballsy here, charging. And Archaon isn't on his horse here. Probably one of the biggest mistakes of my opponent here. But we are shooting into Archaon again. He's turning his back on all that gunfire. I mean, doing some nice damage. Another Vermintide going down here. Getting those Clan Rats, tying up those Chaos Warriors. We do have these Rattling Gun weapon teams here. I do believe I turned them to face those Hell. I mean, oh no, I do believe I'm sending them over to those Marauder Horsemen. We are still retreating back. These Rattling Guns here are still shooting into Archaon here, doing some nice damage. We have got Archaon versus Tretch here, the classic matchup in Warhammer Fantasy, as we all know and love. I mean, of course. But, you know, Standard Die has been popped. Archaon has popped Standard Die himself and Cascading Fire Cloak, so that melee defense and armor piercing damage is going to do it. But Tretch, he's no pushover, especially with those Hell Pits coming in and helping as well. But, as I say, Tretch is tanking, taking some damage, though. It's quite a lot of damage. Those Skaven slaves, though, or Clan Rats, are holding nice in this front line, though, which is really good for me. The Council Guard has pretty much faltered. I think there's only one, like, 11 back over there, so not too good. But, unfortunately, these Mirror Guard are getting on to these these Rattling Gunners, so things aren't looking too great. I mean, balance power is still, you know, okay. I've still got both Hell Pits alive. They are very low, though. Tretch is still alive, but my opponent has a lot. He's still got his Dragon Ogres. He's still got these Chaos Warriors, so, you know, with Halberds, so it's going to be really hard to deal with these units. My plan here is to just keep retreating back with the Rattling Gunners, keep shooting in. We are shooting into the Mirror Guard now, doing some nice damage to them. I mean, without their shields facing, it isn't going to be doing too much. Another Vermintide going down here to try and tie up all this chaff here, these Dragon Ogres, these Halberds. I'm still retreating back with the Hell Pits, and we are shooting in to the Dragon Ogres again, doing some nice damage down to 500 HP. Trying to keep these Rattling Gunners alive at all costs. This Hell Pit is charging into that weird spawn of some Chaos Warriors around here, doing some nice damage. The Plague Priest is retreating back again. Unfortunately, my opponent does get a nice little rear charge here with his Marauder Horseman charging into those Rattling Gunners. And of course, the Hell Pit is nearby, but I mean, pretty much my Rattling Gunners are pretty much all offline now. That one's pretty much routing off there, and this one's pretty much dead. But the Teeth Breakers, they've served well. They've done a lot of damage. I mean, they might have not got many kills, but they have definitely done damage, which I'm very, very happy about. But as I say, things are looking pretty weak. Another Fireball attacking that Hell Pit, doing a shit ton of damage. Both my Hell Pits are very low, and that's pretty much all I've got now. I've got 2 Hell Pits, Tretch, and the Plague Priest now. So I've got to be extremely careful. I've got to try and rout off what I can here. These Clan Rats over here are basically decaying now. Of course, they were summoned, so they pretty much are gone. Archaon is still above half HP. He's still got these Chaos Warriors with Halberds, so dealing with Hell Pits won't be too much of a problem. And still some Chaos Warriors, which will do a good job. In the back there, he does obviously have some Aspiring Champions now coming back, I believe. But Pretty much here, what I'm trying to do here is obviously let my helpets regen. I mean, look at the health on these guys. I mean, they haven't spawned too horrible to die yet, which is an ability where basically they either get their health back or they will actually get, they actually will spawn a unit of clan rats. Of course, you want the health coming back because that's far more useful. But I'm letting these beautiful helpets regen. I mean, they haven't got many kills, but they've been doing damage, and that's what's important. And of course, you know, just letting these guys regen is what you need to do. So I'm playing very, very smart here. The Plague Priest here is pretty much just, you know, attacking and doing what little damage you can. I'm just charging it through, you know, doing what damage I can here. I mean, luckily my opponent doesn't really have anything that can tie this down, so I can just keep cycle charging here. I've got Scrying Stone going down, giving that damage resistance here. I don't know what the hell Archeon just did there. Stand or die. Oh no, a Fireball. Another Fireball going down. Does it connect? I actually don't know if this connects. It does connect, and pretty much... Oh, it does get too horrible to die. I was wondering. So that is the first too horrible to die go down. So obviously you saw its health come back. Extremely useful. I mean, the only other unit I believe has a similar ability is the Flamespire Phoenix when it gets rebirthed, but of course that is far more powerful. So yeah, that helpet is still regenning, still alive, which is just absolutely great. Tretch, he is really fast, so nothing here can catch Tretch up as well. We are using Verminous Valor, obviously, to get away. But here, I have a plan here. So, of course, like I said at the start of the match, we do actually have Plague. Now, for those of you that don't know, Plague is a Vortex spell which does a shit ton of damage. It's basically the Vortex spell for the Skaven. So what I try to do is I bait in all this units here, send both the helpets in, obviously here, trying to bait as many units as I can here. Of course, my opponent falling for this bait, charges in all his units here, and this is beautiful. So we are going to get a beautiful play going down here for the Horned Rat, doing huge amounts of damage to those Chaos Warriors, literally melting all their health, routing those halberds, routing those Chaos Warriors here. So I was extremely happy with that. Both helpets are here, charging into these Chaos Warriors here with those lovely Warpstone contraptions here, doing some nice damage. I mean, pretty much balance power does start to shift into my favour. My opponent's pretty much only got Archeon left here, and like a true Skaven, as we all know, Skaven love to 1v1. We are going for a 1v1 with Tretch and Archeon here. I wanted to kind of play fair here. I wanted to actually see if Archeon could stand up against Tretch, or if Tretch could stand up against Archeon. I mean, of course, we do have both helpets here, usually for the fear and terror, trying to rout off those Chaos Warriors here, doing some nice damage. We do have some coming back here. We do have the Aspiring Champions and these Chaos Warriors coming back, but it really isn't enough. I did actually have some Skaven Slaves somehow still alive, and they've been really useful. These guys have actually been a bit of an MVP. They've been chasing down units like Dragon Ogres and such, so they are actually useful in the late game if they stay alive. Both helpets now are charging back over here into the Aspiring Champions and these Chaos Warriors, which I'm not worried about at all. This Plague Priest is just going balls deep on the front with Archeon, and Archeon is, you know, he got Slayer of Kings, but as I say, it isn't really going to be enough to take out the Plague Priest unless he keeps getting knocked over and pushed around, which is really unfortunate here. So, we do pretty much have the final fight of the battle going down here. Tretch versus Archeon. Stand Your Ground is going down here. Cascading Fire Cloak doing some nice damage here. Verminous Valor is going down. We've got some nice swings from both Lords going down here. I mean, look how badass this fight is. This is sick. This is really, really cool. I mean, this is why I love Tretch, man. He's just such a good fucking Lord. Like, look, he just isn't dying. I mean, going up against Archeon. I mean, Archeon should be one-shotting Tretch. And Tretch is just like, nah, fam. You know, I'm going to stand my ground. He does have 440 weapon strength, so that's not bad for, you know, a little rat Lord. As I say, we are still fighting here. Tretch is still going balls deep, fighting on Archeon here, and it is looking like this match is going to end, and Archeon does rout, but very well played to my opponent. That was extremely fun. I've actually been having a lot of fun with this particular Rattling Gun build. I'm actually kind of curious about how many kills they got. I think they didn't get more than like 20. Let's see, yeah, 5, 15, 20. Well, I'm not surprised by that, but they definitely did damage. They definitely ripped through the weird spawn, definitely ripped through those Dragon Ogres, and I think I definitely got my money's worth. So I'm going to keep trying this build. I might try it against Beastmen. You know, maybe some other factions. I tried it against Lizardmen. It definitely didn't work very well against Lizardmen. But once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Wow, 182 kills. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell.